Hey there, I'm just going to review what Cholula and I worked on this last Tuesday. So you can see we're starting off in the car in front of PetSmart. We're going to see if we can see some people and dogs walking by. She actually did really well for this. You can see she's mostly focused on me. I'm going to wait for her to kind of look around, see if she sees a person or a person walking the dog. And then when she checks back in with me, I'm going to mark and treat. Even if it's not a thing that she's particularly interested in, like maybe it's just one person walking by and it doesn't really bother her at all, I'm still going to mark and treat when she checks in with me because I want to reinforce that pattern of behavior, even when it's not necessarily particularly difficult for her. Just that way we're building good, consistent behavior. So we're going to hang out in the car for a little bit and practice this engage, disengage as people and dogs are walking by. And then we're going to go ahead and head into the store. And I'm probably going to go ahead and cut out a bit in between just because of the repetitions of it. So now we're starting to head into the store. You can see she's going to do a nice job of walking with me as we walk in. I was really impressed by this because in the past when we've walked into PetSmart, she's been really excited in anticipation of going in. So she's usually broken that nice usage walking to get in a bit quicker. But today she did a really nice job of walking with me all the way in. And then we're going to start just kind of walking around the store, seeing what we can see and if there's anything particularly interesting. There are a lot of dogs in the back because they're getting checked into the vet. So you can see her get a little more excited. Her tail goes up and does like a rapid wag. She's getting a little bit more excited about the dogs there. So we're going to try going down an aisle, and my hope is that we can kind of stake out in this aisle. I can reinforce her for settling and, waiting patiently. And my hope is that as we're sitting here, we're going to see some dogs pass by. Like they're going to either be going towards the vet to get checked in, or they're going to be going away from the vet to get checked out. And we're going to see them as we pass by, but just for a moment as they pass down by this aisle. So that way it can't be a big lingering thing because we're only going to see them as they're passing through the aisle. And this way we've also already reinforced her for settling and being patient a bit. So we're already in the right mindset for when the dogs pass by. We do end up seeing a big group of 3 dogs go by, and they're kind of pulling their owner down. So she did really well at, keeping in this nice down and remaining patient as they walk by. We're then going to walk around a bit more, see if we can't do some fake shopping. So that way I can reinforce her for staying with me as we walk. And then I'll also reinforce her for settling whenever I stop. So you'll see me settle here and there, and I'm wanting her to just default into a nice settled down. And then we can get up and start walking again. We're going to head on over to see the cats that are in the little adoption area. And I'm just curious, there's one that's right up by the window, and I'm wanting Cholula to do this nice default down and settle. She does so. She realizes that there's something there. She gets a little bit interested and jumps up. And I'm just going to say, whoops, kind of prompt her back down. And then we're just going to do some nice reinforcing of this settle down. You can see she is a bit excited. That tail is up and wagging. So even though she's performing well with being in this nice settle down, she is not really settled. She's pretty excited about that cat. But I'm happy that she's able to kind of fake it and try to be settled despite all the excitement. We're going to take a break from the cat, go have some actual settle time in a more boring area. and also see if we can't get some more passes by dogs that are checking into the vet that's in the back. Now there's some smaller dogs going into the vet, which makes it a bit easier for her, partly because they're being carried, so we don't even really see them as dogs because they're in their arms instead of on the ground. This can also make it confusing if they bark at her, because she'll hear a dog but won't really see or interpret that there's a dog. We're going to take a break though to just practice some walking, and she is doing a really wonderful job of keeping pace with me and checking in. Every so often, especially when we're passing by bags of food, she gets a little bit distracted and moves on, and like moves over to the food. As long as she's able to keep pace with me, that's fine. If she does linger for too long, I'll say let's go to prompt her to start moving again. This would also be a time when you could do a leave it, especially if she was getting into a bit too interested in the food. But she's pretty good about doing some sniff investigations just as we pass by. So I have her settle here, and a dog is actually going to kind of sneak up behind us, and it's a big, foofy, excited dog. They're both pretty excited to see each other. You can see her tail going. She does a really nice greeting sniff, and then I kind of call her back over. The owner calls their dog back over, and I get her back into this nice settled down, and we're able to just kind of continue on our way. So that was a pretty nice little meeting with another dog and human that was walking by. And what I'm really impressed by is this recovery. So now she's able to just go right back to settling and not be too bothered by anything else that's going on. And I really like just how nice and patient she can be while I'm kind of standing here. And then when it's time to go again, I'll say, oh, all right, let's go. And get her back into heel position, and we'll continue to walk through the store. We're going to end up kind of taking one more wrap around the store, see if there's anything we can see. And then we're going to head to the front of the store, and we're going to say hi to the cashiers and see how she does with that. So initially, as we're approaching, there's going to be someone else getting checked out. She gets a little bit interested in them. And since I don't want her to be a bother, I'm just going to say this way, and we're going to walk away and then have her back in heel and reapproach. This time I'm a bit ready for her to be interested, so upon approach I'm going to ask for a sit just to help her stay engaged with me. And then we're going to take a step forward to meet the cashiers, and you can see she gets a little bit excited and wants to jump up, but then she does a nice sit and a down, and that was just, she defaulted into it. I didn't prompt her. And then she's going to actually get to say hi to the cashiers. They have some treats for her. They're going to ask her to do a sit in order to get those treats. And she's happy to oblige. So she just gets some extra attention from them. And then we're going to have a nice walk back to the car.